Hello, my name is Hema Sampath. I'm a practicing counseling psychologist. How to control anger before it controls you. So, there is a very popular fairy tale, Aladdin and the Magic Lamp. So, when Aladdin, whenever wanted to get something out of the genie which comes out of the lamp, the genie will ask Aladdin, Master, please give me orders and I will get everything done for you. So Aladdin happily gives away all the wishes he wanted to fulfill in his life which he couldn't attain, and genie gets it at the very next second for him. And when he got everything for whatever he wanted, and he just wanted to relax and enjoy it, at that time the genie comes and says, Master, what is the next order? And Aladdin says, I have everything. And the genie says, if you don't give me any order, I will eat you now because I cannot keep quiet. So that is exactly what is our anger is. If I don't control it, if I don't know what to say when, and if I don't have the control of what I am saying, the anger will eat us. So it is the very metaphoric representing anger and our conscious self, or our subconscious or our conscious self. So when I need to know who has to be the master and who is to be the slave, I should be very clear that I should always be the master, and the slave, which is my anger, should always be in my control. So even if I have to show my anger, I should show it to allow it to flow in that order where I don't throw it out all of a sudden and I don't know how to take it back. Allow ourselves to be the masters of our anger, which should be our slave, and set the boundaries and know the techniques, or be in the awareness that the slave is trying to overpower me and it's time for me to overpower my slave. So now let us see that what are the ways through which I can be in the mindfulness or awareness to keep my anger at my control and don't get unnecessarily triggered and become the slave of the actual slave. Okay? So the effective anger management techniques can be listed out as I'm going to mention from now. The first one can be think before you speak. So anger, whenever we are angry, out of that anger, we gush out of the anger and we say all those unexpected words, harsh words, which are not meant and which could cause the damage permanently. So, and most of the time, we show up these anger to our loved and near ones and we regret later how to repair it. My mentor used to say, these words which we utter and which we cannot take it back is like a verbal diarrhea. So whatever comes out cannot be taken back. And whatever damages we cause out of it, it might cause a permanent damage in our relationship. So think before you speak. So whenever you need to say something, first reflect. Do I need to say? Do I need to say this to this person? Do I need to say this to this person now or later? This third filtering question gives you an ample amount of time to respond instead of reacting to the situation. So, when you be mindful and thinking before you speak, you will be able to protect your own mental peace. You can substantially protect the relationship, and that will give you the space and the time to reflect and to address the situation appropriately. So, the second point is look for consequences. So, when I'm going to spill my anger, I need to be aware that there could be few consequences which could be damaging the relationship and which could be affecting my health also. So be aware, be mindful. So at times I need to be little cool and composed whether to react or to respond. See, some people when they go to a restaurant and they get to occupy a table and they get to see the table is not cleaned properly, they might call up the attender or whoever may be there and reacting them, scolding them, saying all sort of ill words and spoiling their life, our lives, and the people who have come to the restaurant on that day at that moment. So, is that needed? Is that scene need to be created? Is that what I wanted out of that evening? Who gave me the right or the privilege to hurt someone for that small mistake and spoiling the entire situation, that person's life, my peace? All these things is what is the consequence which I need to be aware and be mindful and learn to practice the response instead of reaction. The third point could be communicate with the other person. So, who is this other person? The other person is with whom I'm actually wanting to show my anger or because of whom I got angry. So many a times I really don't know why the other person has to say those things, even though my intention was not to make the other person to say those unwanted, unrelatable, unnecessary words. So instead of showing up my tantrum as a reaction, the better response or a effective management or a technique would be go sit and talk to them personally and understand that what they misunderstood of my intention and explain it to them what was your intention and make them understand that what they spoke was hurting you. By sitting and talking with that concerned person, I am actually able to share my hurt or my sadness, and I am also giving an opportunity to the other person to express their intentions. Probably I could have also misunderstood the other person's intention by doing this, by creating this opportunity as a situation. Anger is actually a punishment which we give ourselves for the mistake of others. So, it is better to sit across, talk, share, discuss, and resolve it then and there. So, how do we address this? So, we can go for a walk, we can take a short nap, or I can keep away myself from the situation or the person. And at times, I can resort to my passion or hobbies like listening to music, going out with my friends or going out to watch a movie, or I can even land up into some gardening, cycling, things like that. All these things physically and mentally divert and distract from the current ill feeling and allow us to be away from that situation and enable us to think from a different perspective and give us the time and the space to think appropriately. And later, when we come back and happen to meet the same person, we'll be able to talk from a better perspective and address it appropriately so that we can resolve it then and there with that person without carrying the baggage and taking it as an underneath emotion and getting triggered unnecessarily with the unrelated person at unnecessary timing. Okay?